Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a purchase or pass video. This is not anything that I made up. I've been watching Andrea Madelano, and I'll link her channel down below. I've been watching her do these for a while, and there's just so many products that have been coming out lately that I have been intrigued by, and I might be picking up, and I might not be picking up, but I figured I would share my thoughts with you guys, and perhaps you could share your thoughts with me, and we could have a conversation about it. But these are just some products that I either might buy or might not buy. Since the summer season has come out, there's just launches like I feel every other day, and it's so hard to keep up with, but there's some really good stuff. So I'm going to try to do like a purchase, pass, and then like anything I have that I'm not sure about, that I'm on the fence about, I'll put like last. So the first thing that I might purchase is from Melt Cosmetics. They came out with the Gemini palette. I'm going to put it right up here, and this looks absolutely stunning. I love the color selection on here. I've all 4 green eyeshadows. I feel like they're not done quite enough at all, and so I feel like when you put a green eyeshadow in a palette, like just one singular, it's a big deal. But this has an entire half of the palette in mustard shades and in green shades, which is what caught my eye first. But also the other side has a nice mix of warm browns and neutrals, which would help create a really nice look. And this first shimmer, the one right next to the peach shade, it looks like it's a duochrome, which I'm just so obsessed with duochromes lately. I don't know why. The only thing that might stop me from buying this palette is the price. Now, I know Melt Cosmetics is very expensive to begin with. It's a luxury brand, but this palette is $59. That's $60. That's ridiculously expensive for a brand, and I know Melt makes like the best eyeshadows, and I have not been able to try them yet because they're so pricey for me. So if I end up buying this, like I really want to buy this. I'll start with I really want to buy this, so I'll probably save up and try it. But based on the reviews so far, it looks really good. It has a nice size mirror. It just looks incredible, and I want it in my life. So that's something that I would purchase. The first thing that I'm going to pass on is Manny MUA's brand, his Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag palette. And this is nothing against Manny. This is nothing against that. I just don't particularly find this palette appealing to me. I find that neutral palettes with pops of color are done all the time, and I feel this is no exception to that. It has 2 shimmers and a lot of mattes, and I love mattes in a palette, so that initially drew me to the palette. But the more I look at it, the more I have these shadows in other palettes. Like I have the yellow shadow in a ColourPop palette. I also have the bright pink in a ColourPop palette. I have these blues somewhere else too. I just feel like this isn't a palette I need because I have all of these shadows in other palettes, so buying this palette would not add anything to my collection. Also, I've heard it's really large, and I don't have like large storage spaces for my eyeshadow palette, so I like them when they're more compact and small. So this is just something I'm going to pass on. I have heard great reviews on it, but it's just still not drawing me to the product. The next thing I am going to purchase is actually from the Jouer new Jet Set collection. Now, I know this isn't like a brand new release. This has actually been released for a while, but it's new to me, and they came out with these bronzers in this. The bronzers look really good for my skin tone, but they don't do well for deeper skin tones. I don't think they don't look that deep at all, and that's a little disappointing because this whole year I feel like has been a big like push for inclusivity from the people, like us, the consumers, to the brands, and to see that's just a little disheartening. But I have been dying to try the Jouer blush duos because I've heard they're like a gel cream powder formula, something really cool, and I'm always looking to try new bronzers because I feel like that's just something that I'll always need and always go through and always use. It's not like an eyeshadow palette, it's a bronzer. I use it every single day. So I do think I will be picking up one of these bronzer duos eventually sometime. I want them 100%. That is something I'm going to purchase. I just think the undertones are perfect for me. The next thing I'm going to pass on is actually something I didn't think I was going to pass on initially. This is the Tarte Maracuja oil. They like added a new one with Gold Flex and also this gel-like serum, but it's in a container. This thing, I originally really wanted the jar of serum, but the more I think about it, I don't want the flex in it. I don't think that flex in products does anything but add price to it for no reason. I love the Maracuja oil by itself, and I use it religiously every single night in my skincare, and it has transformed my skin 100% completely. I've never had such clear skin in my life, and I really do owe it to that. That's what started my skin transformation. But I just don't know why you need to add the Gold Flex. I don't think it did anything to the product, And I feel like since this gel serum thing also has gold flecks in it, that it won't do much for my skin. I also feel like it might be a little heavy, so I am going to pass on this one as well. One thing I'm very excited for is this new Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette. This was just teased a few days ago, and I have never been into Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes. Like, nothing's really drawn me to it. It's all been like either a neutral palette or they'll do one that's completely shimmers, and I don't need that. I need a good mix of mattes and shimmers, because honestly, if I had to pick, I would just pick mattes for like my whole life. I love mattes so much. So the fact that this has a nice mix of mattes and shimmers, first of all, drew me. Second of all, this is a good mix of warm and cool tone shadows, which is also really awesome. I feel like I have so many warm tone shadows in my collection that I don't need another warm tone eyeshadow palette. So the fact that this mixes them makes me so incredibly happy. And it has like beautiful neutrals and beautiful pops of color. It has a beautiful cranberry section on the bottom, which I'm very here for, and it has like a teal and a blue and an emerald. It just looks like the perfect cohesive palette for me. So I think I will be buying this. It's gonna come out in July, so I'm pretty excited. I think I'm gonna buy this one. Okay, another thing I am going to pass on is this Becca Be a Light palette. It's supposed to be like a setting powder, a bronzer, blush, and a highlighter all in one. It's supposed to be like a face palette, and they have two shades, one that's deeper, one that's lighter. I don't think face palettes draw me at all anymore. I don't even think, like, I don't remember a time when I ever used a face palette and was like, I need this because it's all in one, because I don't necessarily care if it's in a compact palette. I don't understand, I guess, the point of a all-in-one palette, because everyone likes different things. So I could love a Becca highlighter, which I do, but I might not like their bronzers or their blushes. So I don't know why I'd spend all that money on an all-in-one palette when I might not like the formula of all of them. And when I have like staples in my collection that I like better than a palette, I'd rather pick those than pick up a palette, is what I'm saying. So I'm just going to pass on that. And the last thing that I'm going to purchase is the new eyeshadow palette by Violet Voss. They teased this, and this palette just looks so summery and beautiful. I used to be very neutral girl. I'm actually pretty neutral on the eyes today. But ever since I started my YouTube channel, I've been kind of getting more into colorful looks and like experimenting and trying new things. And I think that's been the best part of my journey on this YouTube channel, is that I'm like testing myself. So I've wanted an all colorful palette for a while, and I just love the colors in this palette. It's like bright and summery. I love the pops of purple and pink, which I'm not seeing in a lot of palettes. I'm seeing a lot of blues and oranges, which I love, but I also kind of want some purples, some pinks, some cranberries, some grays. I want some difference in the palette, and this is like a different palette. This is the first time I've ever seen like a palette that I'm like, wow, this is something I haven't seen before, and I really would like. So that is the last one that I am going to buy. I thought I had products that I wasn't really sure about, but I think in this video I just kind of let it all out and decided what I wanted and what I didn't want. Okay guys, so that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry if any of it seemed negative. It was just, I feel like there's just so much coming out all the time. You need to be picky about the products you're going to buy, or else you're going to end up spending your entire paycheck on makeup. And I can't do that. I need to pick what I want specifically, because I'm still working and I'm still going to school and I still have a lot of debt. So it's just, for me especially, it's important to like go through why I want something and if it will be useful to me and if it's different in my collection. And I feel like with these, like, this is why I chose the things I chose. Again, like, I didn't make up the purchase or pass video. That was Andrea, and I'm going to leave her channel below. She's just super awesome and funny and talented, and I love watching her videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any thoughts on the products that I mentioned, leave them down below, and maybe might convince me to rethink my thinking. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you want to. There's never any pressure, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.